Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very, very, very special Couch Potato Queens episode. This is the episode, y'all. This is it. This is like the main course we have today. I am joined by my hosts, Steven and Frank. My name is Josh Mendelson. We are your Couch Potato Queens, and we are so excited for tonight. I mean, Steven, how excited are you for our guest before revealing it?
I am so excited. I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for this. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Frank, what about you?
Definitely can't wait. She's been my favorite since I was recording on VHS.
I mean, this is a legend. We have a Big Brother, not just like a regular Big Brother alumni. We have a legend amongst us, like one of the best players to ever play Big Brother. So with that said, I have a little speech before we bring him on. I'm going to, give a little outline if we're bringing on right now. But Diane Henry was a 22-year-old cocktail waitress from Burlington, Kentucky, when she competed on Big Brother 5. Even though she had issues with the notorious Four Horsemen Alliance, she was still able to keep herself out of harm's way by winning an over 9-hour endurance HOH, later sending home Scott, one of the biggest male threats. Diane, along with Nicole Stedman, were also a part of the first ever backdoor, the Six-Finger Plan, in Big Brother history, and it ended up sending Jace out of the house, who was the biggest threat halfway through. She was then able to make her way to the final 3, where she was evicted by her showmance, Drew Daniel, placing her in 3rd. She later returned 2 years later as a part of the Big Brother 7 All-Stars cast, where she was voted in by America to participate. Unfortunately, not being able to find any stable allies, Diane's time was cut short when she was evicted the 4th week. She, to this day, leaves her legacy in the Big Brother community after paving way for legendary players such as Netta and Ika from Big Brother Canada. She has since left the Big Brother fandom to start a family of her own, and we are so excited to have her on today. So, without further ado, I present Diane Henry McFarland!
Yay!
Hi, Diane. How are you?
For having me.
You are very welcome. You are a legend, as we said. Are you so excited for tonight?
Yes. I love giving my opinion. It always gets me in, never gets me in trouble.
Well, we here for it.
That's what we love to see. Right. All right, just kick things off and tell us, what have you been up to since your season? Like, the fans want to know. They haven't heard from you since All Stars.
I mean, honestly, All Stars. Let's see. Left All Stars, stayed in California a couple more years, met my future husband. Moved back to Ohio together because that's where he's from and I'm from, 30 miles down the road from each other. Perfect place to start the family out in the country. And I am now a real housewife of Allentown.
So where are you living? Are you in Kentucky?
Ohio.
So are you like a real housewife of, is it Cincinnati is where you live?
Well, Cincinnati is my claim, but Adams County, West Union.
Okay.
Yep.
Real housewife of Ohio. So, like, my question is, like all the cities have that thing that they hold. They have like the orange or like the diamond, or what would your thing be? What would you be holding up?
Ooh, what a good question. The corn.
Not the corn.
I love it. But Diane, like, tell us, you just had another baby a year ago. Like, how
congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, hardest thing to do in the world. Like, stay-at-home moms don't get enough credit. It's the hardest thing. It's so great. But I'm just so exhausted. But I love it. Plus, I'm old, So.
Diane, you're like 6 years older than me. Okay, we are not old.
But women don't have babies at my age. But I had to get my 20s out, and I'm good with that. So I'm doing.
Who cares? Yeah. I mean, if anyone's looking at the same person I am, has she aged since?
No, you look good, girl.
Not a day. You drink the potion. I don't know what. You look amazing.
Like scalding hot baths. I think it opens up the blood veins.
There you go. There you go.
I love it. All right, so like let's dig in. Let's just dig right into it. So getting on the show, I do want to ask one question, I guess, with like getting cast. Were you a fan of the show before you went on the show? Like, did you watch the previous seasons? Like, how did you hear about Big Brother?
No, never heard of Big Brother. Gosh, second year of college, I think, and sitting in the computer lab, and there was like this silly modeling website you could throw your pictures on, right? So you could get free pictures from photographers. And so that's where I got the message from one of the casting directors just saying, hey, he actually didn't even say what the show was. He's like, but we have a game show. Any chance you'd be interested in something like that? We have to fly you out to California next week. And I was like, this strangest thing I've ever said, but hey, there's a real phone number down here. So I did call it, and I was in California the next week.
Wow.
It was like maybe the last couple weeks of casting for finals, and they just took me right in because I was such a bitch.
But that's why we fucks with you though. You know, like you're real. You keep it real.
You keep it real. Like,
and it was all because I said Big Brother out loud right before they were sending me into like the first interview. I got snapped at and yelled at. So when I sat down, I was like fucking pissed.
Wait, so Diane, you was a recruit?
So yep,
wow.
I was.
That's
Never watched it. Yep. But they do feed them to you before you go on. So I watched seasons 2 through 4 before I went on, and oh my God, I loved it. I couldn't wait to get it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Definitely.
Okay, well, like let's talk season 5. Like, Frank, ask a season 5 question. We got to start right from the beginning of season 5.
We got to start from the beginning of season 5.
Let's start like, how about like, let's start, Diane, like, well, I'll start it off, and you boys can take over here. But like, Diane, what were your first impressions of the cast when you went in? Instantly, like, who did you like? Who were your like? Who is this person? Like, when you started in that game, what were your thoughts?
I mean, you heard me say it on the show that I was like, Nokomis, who's this weird girl over here? Who ended up being my bestest friend. I don't really remember anybody except for Drew and Big Mike. I took to Big Mike pretty quick. He was so As for everybody else, I didn't. Yeah, sorry, dull answer.
No, I mean that's real. So I have a question. What do you think about the editing, like from your season? Like, because we didn't have social media. It's a lot different than what it was. And when was BB5? Like 2004. 2004. Yeah. So social media wasn't as prominent. So like, what did you think of the editing when you watched back?
I never thought the editing was that bad, but you could always pick out the moments through the show that you knew had nothing to do with each other, like the moments sitting around the table making faces at each other. That's usually because they were talking and said something, and then spliced everybody's facial reactions onto something that happened 2 weeks later. It was crazy. But overall, it wasn't so bad. I felt like they got everybody pretty right.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because nowadays, like, I mean, minus this season, they're kind of switching it up a little bit, but the editing is it hasn't been like as original as it was back in OG season.
It used to be actual episodes back then. Now it's like recaps of the live feeds is the vibe.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so are we seeing like real stuff? Because I always get curious about people that are they editing the cast this year pretty accurately?
They were editing it hard in the beginning until they had no other choice but to show what's really going on in the house.
Yeah. Now they're like, okay, let's keep it real. Like, let's show what's really going on, because first of all, I think that they look at like BB Twitter and they kind of go off of BB Twitter for their episodes.
Absolutely. Guaranteed.
Yeah,
it's definitely. I think that's what they do now. I think they let social media like control the show now.
Well,
you didn't have that luxury then.
I kind of felt like sometimes I could kind of control it weird way, because if you go in there and kind of say like, oh, it'd be so great if this happened, and then all of a sudden you I don't know if you remember the competition where the boys shared golf club with me and so kind of something we had talked about before the competition happened in the diary room, and I couldn't believe we were doing it.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
So they let me win that, basically.
Yeah. So.
They're rigged.
Speaking of competitions, speaking of live feed off time, when they turn the live feeds off before competitions, before eviction shows, what goes on during that time period? Like, what happens? Like, what goes on in that?
It's a lot of rehearsing, not rehearsing and stuff, but like, even during games and stuff, sometimes you have to do things over in rare cases, So I assume that.
Well, because I know before the live eviction episodes, the feeds are off for like a good couple of hours. Like, does production talk to you guys at all, or what's going on like then?
No, they just don't want you to see everything that's going to go down right before it happens.
And what about when you guys have to like be quiet during the nomination, before the nominations? Is it awkward? Like, just you sit in the room quiet, like
the dumbest thing in the world, and for so long, and that's where they get all the facial expressions that they need for whenever they want to put it to what they want to put it to.
Like, do you guys get in trouble if you like actually speak, or is there a penalty, or?
No penalties, but you will get yelled at by production. They don't care.
Right.
Speaking of production, I think the fans want to know, what's Allison Grodner like?
Yes.
I mean, she's always been nice and sweet to me, but I she can be pretty not nice.
Shima, this is Allison. Please come to the diary.
Why do people? That's a good question. Why do people not like her so much? I feel like, is that a thing?
It's like her way or the highway, and she just doesn't. I don't know. It's like she doesn't take what we're like saying we want, and she just goes a weird route.
But she's gone now, right? Is that right?
No, she is running.
Still there. Robin Cass is who is gone, which I think Robin Cass is very sweet. Like, I've only heard really good things about Robin.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened. I was curious about that.
Yeah. So I know Robin. I think it wasn't. Robin's not the one who decides the final cast. Robin was the one who picked different candidates and potential people to be on the show. It's production and Allison that picked the final cast, correct?
Sometimes they'll send you into, well, I guess he's not there anymore. Oh my God, he's not the Moon Des guy. Oh my God.
Oh, Julie's man.
Want to talk about?
We're getting shady today.
Wait, Josh had a question about Julie's man or Julie's last name.
Oh yeah. So do we? What? Okay. So what's your? Do you think Julie Chen Moonves has changed since your time on the show?
Definitely, but I mean, no, not really. I don't feel like she doesn't get close to any of the cast members. I don't think she could care less, really, but I don't know.
She's there to collect her check and keep it moving.
Exactly.
Sounds about right.
He definitely doesn't watch the show. But like there are like hosts in other series. I mean, you haven't watched like Canada, but the host of Big Brother Canada, Arissa's like into it. Like she watches.
She's an executive producer.
Yeah, she's executive producer, and Julie's just like, okay, I mean, I watch the show once in a while, and I know who Janelle is. But
I know. I was gonna say, she knows who Janelle is. That's it.
She knows Janelle and Dr. Will and
Yep.
Derek and Cody.
Speaking of Janelle, are we able to segue to that?
Yeah, let's just go into it. Let's talk.
Since she came up.
I want to know your guys' opinions the last time she was on the last Big Brother, because I can tell you mine afterward.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I'm willing to fast forward to your opinion.
For BB22.
I think we all, the fans all love Janelle. We love Janelle. I love both of you, okay? I openly love both of you as players. You're both amazing.
Yeah, that's okay.
But, I mean, I was kind of sad that you weren't cast when one of RHAP's former members was posting on Twitter that Diane's in the cast. Right. And I'm sitting chatting with you, Diane, on the side on Facebook, like, hey, so I hear you're on the cast, but aren't you, like, pregnant, about to have a baby right now?
Right. No.
Do they like reach out to you at all?
Yeah, they would if they want something or you on the show, but I don't think they'd ever reach out for me. I don't know. I feel like, there was a moment in time where they just loved Janelle so much. I think they didn't like that I didn't like her so much. So I don't know.
But that's what we want to see. Like,
Exactly.
two powerhouses like go at it. And unfortunately, in All Stars, you were dealt like a really short hand. Like they really didn't give you a fucking chance, like at all.
Yeah.
There were enough.
But yeah, I would have loved to see you guys like go head to head. That would be epic.
I would work with Janelle. Oh my God, it would be so great.
Y'all are moms now. Y'all have grown up. I think you and Janelle would work well together today. I do think.
I agree.
I didn't like her. Like she just didn't seem like a nice person on this last season. I don't know.
So I think I didn't have an issue with Janelle. I think she wasn't dealt the right hand in this All Stars because it really wasn't All Stars. We called that season the people who said yes.
Yep.
Because there were only 5 real All-Stars in that season. There was Janelle and Luther. You had Danny, which we prefer the brunette Danny. We don't like the blonde Danny because the blonde Danny is, I know we don't like her. And then Ian, I would say was an All-Star. Tyler, I would say is an All-Star. And I would say Cody was an All-Star, but that's it. Davon too. I think Davon earned it, but that's it. That's a wrap. Yeah. And the rest were awful.
Well, we knew it was going to be terrible when the cat.
That was horrible.
Facts.
Fans did not like that season. Any season with Nicole Franzel, the fans don't like. Sorry.
Nicole Franzel. Oh, yeah, right. Did she win a season?
She did. 18. Yeah.
But she didn't. It's not that she didn't deserve to win, but the other person, somebody else deserved that season. Who was it?
Paul.
Oh yeah.
Paul. Double loss 2 seasons in a row.
Oh my God, saddest thing I ever saw.
Ooh, everything. I loved it.
So, I have a question about when you're in the house, what is that energy like? Like, is it are you nervous 24/7? Like you got butterflies and you're like a gut, a pit in your gut, like all the time?
Nope, you get the gut right when you walk in, feeling. Then literally it's like the cameras aren't even there. You just totally forget.
Wow.
It's like a cool feeling.
Yeah, that's how it was for me. I don't know. I'm good at adapting to different places, so that might be so easy for me.
So
I was also thinking about last night. I thought about the time when I went into the diary room and begged to leave the show. I tried to leave Big Brother 5. But
when was it?
After that fight with Scott and I in the bedroom when he called me trash.
Oh yeah, that. And then is that the one where you had your infamous nobody gets me down?
Yes. Yeah. But that might have been Jace. I've had so many on that season.
Yeah. But then you had Scott and Jace kissing your ass when you won HOH. That was epic.
Best feeling in the world, knowing they were doing it and we were still gonna get them out of the house.
Definitely. And you held your composure. I give you kudos for that because you could have spazzed and everything, but you was no. I think you was no, I got you guys. I'm just gonna keep it cool.
Man, wish I would have said something shitty though. I hate you. I don't care who leaves. Bye to one of you.
Let's talk though about that HOH because that's another legendary HOH. That and the season 6 HOHs are the longest HOHs that have ever gone in Big Brother history. You lasted over 9 hours. Standing with your finger on a button.
That was the longest, but now there's been competitions where people have just gone crazy over that, right?
No, they last an hour now.
They don't last anywhere near as long. I remember staying up watching the feeds during that competition, and
I'll never forget that night. That'll be burned into my brain forever.
Were you sore?
Nope. I couldn't.
Wow.
The next morning, I'm dead serious. No part of my body hurt during that.
Oh wow!
I'll never forget you carrying that HOH that box with the keys, and Jason's like, "You need some help?" No, I got it.
Here's the thing, Diane. If you wouldn't have won that HOH and Jace would have won, would have you been eliminated that round? Would have he taken you out?
I'm sure I would have hit the block for sure.
That I am happy you won, but you knew you were like, I'm doing this for the girls / Will. I got this.
Yeah. And I think I had to because I probably knew that I was going up if I didn't.
Yeah.
Facts. So I have a question too about when Adria and Natalie, no, it was Adria and Cowboy were on the block.
Yep.
And Drew told you to get rid of Cowboy, which I personally think you should have. Is that a regret or like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, definitely a regret there. I've got multiple regrets for the show. Oh my God, so many. But that was a big one.
Yeah. I'm glad you're keeping it real. Most people like, no, I have no regrets. No,
I know. I don't ever believe that answer. I'm like, no, you regret. There's a couple things you regret.
I knew we were getting whatever. There's no like corporate answers with Diane. She's gonna say what's on her mind. Like that's.
I wish I would have been smart enough to have kicked Drew out when he was up on the block that towards the end. You know what I mean? Like, how great would that be?
Well, if we're talking Drew.
See, I knew where Steven was going.
Into the Drew of it. Let's do it.
Can anybody find him? Like,
I have searched so hard. Nothing.
All you
happened to him,
right? Just this lawyer. That's all I can find. I know he's on Facebook, so I bet if I sent him a message, I'm sure he'd reply. But what the hell am I going to say to him? Hey, how are you? I don't care.
Okay, so let's like, where do you wish you would have cut Drew in this game? If you could go back at one stage, when do you wish you would have cut him?
The time that I saved him off the block, I would have just kind of laughed. I would have, if I was just smart enough, I would have told him I was going to save him and just not saved him, and everybody would have probably voted him out.
You know what? I'm gonna pull up one of our viewer comments because I think all the gays want to know, and I think all the gays want to know because this has been tea since like I came out of the closet like 15, 16 years ago.
I've been wanting to know too.
Everybody is like, Drew's gay. He came out of the closet. He's one of our LGBT winners.
Like, if he was, don't you think he'd be cool with it now? Like, surely, what's he got to
do?
I don't know.
I mean, and back then, where would the rumors come from? Like, it had to be somewhat true because it's like
for years.
Yeah,
I know.
For years.
I know that. Okay. Keep in mind, this was my early 20s, so most people would say your slutty years. So I know that Drew was never interested, and it was just a strange relationship. It would remind me, and I have a lot of gay friends, it would remind me of like a beardy type of situation.
Got it. That's what I wanted to know. It's like, do you think he like had true feelings, or you think it was game, or you think it was just like, what was he doing?
I think he had true feelings of some sort, but like I felt like beneath him, like I was never good enough for him. That's how I always felt around him.
Did you ever touch Drew's Drew? I mean, you guys had a lot of what? She said she doesn't care. Like, she's with it. Like, you guys are in the house, you guys cuddled a lot. Like, what do showmances do? Like, this is a perfect opportunity.
You guys are kind of the original showmance. Like, I can't think of anyone else before Drew and Diane. Like,
oh my God, so embarrassing. But yeah, there might have been feeling around there.
Okay. I'm just curious. It can't hurt to ask. I'm taking advantage of this opportunity. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, work. There you go.
So now like Kyle and Alyssa might be, I don't know about Kyle, but I don't know if you know Kyle. He's a Mormon on the show now, and so
I know.
I don't know.
He's an ex-Mormon.
Yeah,
ex-Mormon.
Ex-Mormon. He's like
what do the showmances really do? Like, does the showmances like get it in, or do they just like flirt?
And nowadays they do. Before old school days, I don't think they did.
No way. Why would we ever do that? Like, and people see that, and nowadays they're just having sex in the house like it's a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Season 21, baby.
Fact. And then there was that one season, production told us that it was so bad, the orgies and stuff that they had to cut the live feed pretty much consistently throughout that season.
Wait,
what season? We just all.
I want to say it was the one with Crazy Jane because he was a porn
Season
star.
9. Season
Yes.
9.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
9, they were having so much sex and blowjobs and orgies everywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, and then you had Natalie who was like milking herself in the house. There was this girl Natalie on it, like Natalie who was she had the Team Christ Alliance. I know all this stuff, and there was like literally a video of her like milking herself in the house.
Because hey, quick question on milking and babies. Did Danielle
have a baby?
I was just Danielle. Did she go on one of the Big Brother seasons 2 weeks after she had a baby?
Did she really?
Did you hear that on the last? I thought that was kind of weird.
So Danny, I'm going to talk about this because Danny and you were friends, are friends.
Yeah, we're friends. You know, I really like her, but it's like I told Josh yesterday. You know, I always root for Danny. I like her, but you know, sometimes she follows the crowd, and she was talking some shit maybe, and she apologized to it. You know, what Janelle could have done, and everything would have been fine, but. The last we'd really ever talked. I think Danny said I wasn't worthy of being an all-star movie.
Are you kidding?
How can you not watch season 5 and think that? Like,
no, Dan, you are an all-star. But I do think Danny's an all-star too. I do, like brunette Danny. I always say this. Danny with brown hair is the all-star. Danny with blonde hair, no, we don't like her as much. She ruined all-star season. I think Danny, like, here's my thing. Overall, she's a legend. I respect Danny. I think she's great. I actually have said this on the thing. I actually do like Evil Dick. I am someone who, I was saying this on a past broadcast before, because he says what everyone else is thinking.
Yep.
He doesn't have a censor. I respect Evil Dick. I do. I think he's hilarious. He's not probably liked by modern culture with cancel culture and whatnot. But overall, I think he's hilarious and says what's on his mind and says what everyone's thinking. And I respect that.
He was one of my favorites because of the same reason.
Yep. I would interview Evil Dick in a second. I would have a blast with him. But
he'd do it probably. You know,
I would love it. But his daughter, she was great when she was with him. When she went into that all-star house, I was just like, she's so catty, so two-faced. I'm like, what is going on? And she's like my age, or like she's, you know what I mean? She's like in her, like, she's like a year or two older than me. So she's like my age. I'm like, Danny, like, this isn't the same Danny that I saw. Like, this is a really cool, catty, jealous person. Like, she was like, I know you like the whole thing with your job, but like, she was like so jealous. It was like for no reason. I'm like, why?
I didn't understand that thing at all, because then I saw a picture of Danny wearing one of her dresses. Like, she was such a big Janelle fan that she bought her dress. Did you see that online?
Yep.
Honestly, that. Wow.
I don't know.
I didn't understand why they didn't work out.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I respect Danny, but
it was that alliance that were like they pre-gamed, so like,
right,
you can't control that. You know, that sucks. But
yeah, for sure.
Which is how all-star seasons will be. There's so much drama that happens before the all-star, stuff like that. Like, I tried to catch as much as I could on the last one, but like, you know, because I thought Dan was going to do it. He tell me the truth. About getting kicked off, possibly.
So let's talk about this. Who, like, from your original season 5 and season 7 do you still talk to on regular occasion, and who not from your seasons do you talk to, like, in the alumni community?
You know, like I said, I consistently talk to Mike and Mark. Let's see. Alex has always been a good friend, if you remember him. I always say nobody remembers your season, Alex.
Season 9.
Yes, he was on the porn one. We have to ask him about that. Who did I meet and I really loved on this last show with Dick? But you know, I'm not super close with any. Boogie from time to time. You know what? Story.
Boogie?
Kind of. I get calls from Boogie in the middle of the night. Never get a chance to answer them because who the fuck's awake at 4 in the morning? Well, the next day I had a message and Boogie was with Jason Roy and he wanted to talk to me on the phone and I missed it and I love Jason Roy on his season, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
Jason Roy was at Davon. Yeah, it was Jason and Davon.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the last time I talked to Boogie, but he pops around every now and then. I don't know what's going on for life. No, that's
Wait, and what is Boogie hanging out with Jason Roy for?
in
What
Vegas,
is that?
in Vegas partying.
Jason Roy, like, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
guys, a lot of people like. I bet James has met every single person on every single Big Brother.
Well, James has admitted on a reunion that he dated someone every season. So
Yeah, pretty
Every
much.
season.
Married
Wow.
Man and Fabulous. But
James and I had a moment, but it was just too weird. Like your brother sister kind of moment.
you and James had a little thing.
Had a moment, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Me.
I tried to go on a date with Boogie too, but that was way before I knew any of his weird ass shit. But I still love Boogie.
Right.
Weird
Wow.
shit.
Well, Boogie,
Weird
you
shit.
know, Boogie has been canceled. I mean, we won't get into it too much because I mean, Boogie, you know, it's Boogie, but he was on the canceled list a little bit.
Yeah.
He was on the most wanted list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, insane and harassing poor Will. Like, oh my god.
So, okay, did you ever keep in contact with Dr. Will after the show?
So yep. I still considered Will a good friend, although we don't really talk now. But if I ever wanted to call him up, I would.
Yeah, I mean, Will is the legend, but now everyone's all about Derek and Cody, which I mean, like, props to them, they won their shows, but they're all like later evolved generation of Pokemon from Dr. Will. I mean, like, Dr. Will's like the Gen 1, and then you get Dan Giesling, the Gen 2, and then you get like Derek and Cody, the Gen 3, you know? That's
right. So right.
you got Squirtle turning into Blastoise. You got Charmander to Charizard. Like, it all starts from Dr. Will. Okay, I said it.
Yep. Love
So
it.
so what about Pencil Dick? How is he doing?
Scott's good. He's in California with his little puppy, his little foo puppy. And
Okay.
I mean, he was married. I assume he's still married. Although I don't see a lot of her, so I don't know if that worked out. I can't imagine it really did.
Diane, you about to make me go get my drink right now. Like, and I'm not talking about the water.
Well,
Okay, there it is. Okay, what about Jace? Whatever happened to Jace?
Jace is good. I would still be Jace's best friend if he would resurface from the mountain woods wherever he's hiding. I know you've seen those clips, haven't you?
Yes. So here's my thing on him. I feel like he put on like a persona on the show, and he's actually like a really cool guy off the show. That's the vibe I get.
Amazing. In fact, we talked on the phone for a while. I mean, I loved him. I don't understand. Like, you want to talk about somebody who really just disappeared? Jace is one of them. I couldn't even get my phone number or nothing. All I could find was that YouTube channel.
Oh, because he's just like, he seems like he'd be a really nice guy. And I was really happy he came back for All Stars when it happened.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they definitely chose the right 3 people to represent your season. Which Big Brother 5 is underrated, one of the best.
So underrated. I don't get it. Like, it's been an amazing season.
Like, they're legendary seasons. Like, I always tell people, Big Brother 5, like, there's so much that happened. There was a twin twist. There was brother and sister. There was the 6-finger plan. There was anytime I watch season 5, I'm gonna watch a couple episodes. I watch the episode that you won HOH up until the Will Blindside, where he's like, if karma was a boomerang, I'll see you sooner than later. Okay, like that bunch of episodes, like it's just like it's like reading the Bible. Like it's epic television.
I mean, you probably had the biggest like twist that Big Brother has ever had. 2 twins in the house and a brother and sister. Like, I can't believe that was actually like pulled off.
I can't believe they pulled that off with Nokomis and her dad. I really can't. And they're still doing good, I think, so Nokomis, I heard, opened a restaurant in Texas.
I'd love to hear from her. She's also you both are legends.
Like you started the back door, which is like, I mean,
facts.
Can you imagine Nokomis and Jason and I really would have got her shit together. And, you know, Nokomis and I had a really hard time in All Stars trying to keep Jace under control. The only downfall was obviously that he was, he just flew off the handle too quick, you know?
So I have a question. Let's talk about Big Brother All Stars and the fact that I have so many All Stars questions, which is funny, but like in All Stars, like, are there things that we don't know about those first couple weeks that how it was set? Because I feel like at first you weren't a majority. You had like Danielle and Allison and Jace, and like you had Marcellus. I feel like you guys had it set up, and then it just like went to shit because like Jace started trying to work with Big Brother 6, which was, what was he thinking?
I don't know what.
I blame Dr. Will and Boogie for making Janelle backdoor you.
Yeah, they are responsible for that. That's right. That's correct.
But yeah, like what happened? Like, do you think like you just didn't get a good footing? Like, what happened to lead to you and Nokomis also just getting screwed? Like,
well, I know Nokomis for some reason. I mean, and they were right, fearing that she would be one of the best players, and I'm sure she might have. And then with me, I mean, obviously Janelle hated me, so I knew I was going out the door with her. I thought I had a chance, but I honestly think that there was a moment where we were talking about, I had brought up several times about Will making it to the end of the game and winning, you know? So I thought there was a shift in that moment, and that's probably why Will and Boogie were like, go ahead, Janelle, get her out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because after Janelle, we would have went straight after Boogie and Will. Everybody would have.
That makes sense.
What was the reason like for the Janelle friction? Like I never understood, to be honest.
I hate the story.
I know, I hate it too. I can tell you, Big Brother 6 had just ended. Biggest Janelle fan on the planet. I cannot stress that enough. She was my favorite. They were at the rap party. James called me. And oh no, I had a bunch of fans send me the messages and all the screen, and like Janelle said on her season that I was too ugly for Drew, and how could he ever be with somebody like me? So, and I just thought, what a personal attack! Like, you don't even know me, and I'm so crushed. And so James, being at the rap party, he wanted Janelle to call and apologize to me, and she was so shit-faced, and she didn't give a flying fuck. And that was that.
Wow.
Wow.
That's sad, because I think the two of you, if you two worked together, would have just been awesome. And I feel like if you guys are put in a house together now, and if it was, let's say if it was you and Big Brother All Stars 22 instead of Danny, I think you would have been loyal to her.
I would have loved to work with her. You know, I hated that we couldn't work together. And in All Stars, there were real moments between us. I really thought that we were going to be friends. So that's how I felt. So, you know, too bad.
I think you, Danielle Reyes, Janelle, and Nokomis, if the four of you like really like y'all could have fucked this shit up.
Right?
And Allison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
that would have been
legends.
Dope.
Like,
yeah, nobody gave a shit about no guy. You know, no offense, but no, guys would have been right on.
Yeah.
Can we put the rumors to rest? Mr. and Mrs. Smith alliance.
Yeah. So this is a strange one. I don't know if my brain just doesn't remember a lot, but I don't remember Jace really talking to me about that. Maybe right before he walked out the door, and I was like, okay, cool. He was kicked out a couple days later, and then after the show, he called me and he was like, "Let's just egg it on during the finale," because that's what Jace liked to mention. So never really know.
Right. How was Danielle Reyes? Like, how was her energy? Like, what was that like being around her?
Living with a legend. I'm sorry, Danielle Reyes is the best player of all time.
She's a supreme.
Yeah.
That's your supreme.
I think she confused me the most in All Stars because I thought that her and I would really work together. And the whole Erica thing, I don't get it. I still don't get it to this day. Erica are not friends. She was never happy with what I said about her, but like, I just never understood. I pushed for Danielle to switch the vote so hard. Love Danielle, but you know, what she had to do for whatever.
Yeah. And like, why was Erica even there first?
Why was she on All Stars?
How was she cast? What happened?
Because she turned into a casting director, so I think she just asked to be on the show, probably.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
America did not vote that girl in. I'm sorry.
Hell no.
There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
Also, why not Lisa? Why was Lisa not put on the cast?
I was so mad. You know, Lisa and I would have, we just looked at each other. We didn't even have to say anything, and her and I would have worked together. Same with who was the other one?
We had Dana from season 4. You got Yvette from season 6. Ugh.
No, but Dana, and her and I would have went full girl.
Oh, wait, Monica season 2, like
yeah.
I love Monica. I tried to get with her last time I was in New York. She's tough.
Yeah.
We love.
Yeah, I wish they just like put everybody on and just see what happened. It was like 20 of y'all, right? Like 20 people.
Yeah.
A lot.
Who walked in the beginning? Yeah.
Yep.
And then like had like a day one like eviction of like maybe 3 or something. Because I like that was so heartbreaking to see like Monica, you know, like all these people like be like pushed away, and I'm like, no.
Bunky and Cowboy, bye.
That was twice for Cowboy that he walked onto the set and didn't get on. That happened in season 11 too.
He's like the Jujubee of Big Brother boys.
Okay? Oh God, Cowboy.
How is Marvin doing?
Marvin's good. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but I guess he's still doing his cooking show, and I know that's going well. Which him and I did an episode together, and I've never seen it, but I swear to God, you guys, if you saw it, you would just fucking die. So somebody get on Marvin and let's pull out the old cooking show that I did with him.
Yes, we'll look for it. We'll definitely look for it.
Was he the cook in the house in season 5? Was he the one?
Oh yeah, the reason we all survived eating. You know what I mean? Everything he made was amazing.
I think I'd love to see him again.
Was season 5 still peanut butter and jelly?
Yep.
And food competitions. We missed those
so much.
Would you have rather done that or slop?
Neither. I did ketchup and mayonnaise sandwiches. They would let me.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
so you condiments and pickles.
Yeah, and slop, you know, I got yelled at, but I managed to tear off half of the label on one of the buckets, and I swear to God, it said it was animal feed.
Oh shit.
So
does the slop just taste like pretty much like oatmeal, or
it's like paper mache, more or less.
Oh. But did you guys cook stuff with it when you were on it? Like, did you get to make something?
Yeah, everybody tried pancakes, cookies. We fried the slop in the pan. You usually just didn't eat it. Like I fasted for a whole week.
Poor Chicken George had to do all those days with it.
What's the chicken man like? Okay, what is he like?
So love him. He always was too dad for me, and I don't do well with that, you know. So, but God, bless his heart. What was he doing on All Stars? I'm just kidding.
He's a total boomer. We know.
I saw him on our channel the other day. Do you guys know it's on Mika Auction? And you can see him on TV sometimes.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
It's a car auction TV channel. It's called Mika Auctions, and sometimes you'll see Chicken George in the audience, you know, doing bets or doing whatever they do, auctions.
I love that. Here's the thing. Yeah, I don't think he should have been cast. I think Lisa should have been on over him.
We could have had somebody over Chicken George.
I think it should have been Lisa. 100%. I think Lisa should have been in that cast. I heard the rumor is that Will said he would not go on without Mike Boogie, and I think that's why they made it uneven. This is because is that true?
Yep, they came as a package deal, I do believe.
Because the guy-girl ratio was off, right?
It was off. Yeah, because
absolutely. And I think they should have done equal people in seasons. That would have been fair, you know? Mm-hmm. So it was bullshit.
It was. I agree.
So, Diane, if you could have had all stars your way, well, how would have you had it going into that house on day one?
This would have been me and Naomi and Allison, and I would hope Danielle, but I don't know, she wanted a lot. And then James. That would have been my happy place.
That would have been nice. Yeah, I would have liked that.
Yeah,
because All Stars was good, but like it wasn't like legendary to me in a weird way.
It was better than the second All Stars.
It was a big flop.
That's true.
Oh, I know.
It was well, from what you said, you guys were all like, you guys were just like, we're gonna do whatever we want. We don't even care.
They hated us. Just sit on the top of the right outside the HOH room. All of us would sit there, hang our legs off the side, and beat with fucking spoons until we got what we wanted. We were brats. In fact, I was.
Y'all was All Stars.
I know. Well, I was ready to lock the door.
I love that.
So, what do you think about this current season? You got any favorites?
Let's talk season 24. Yeah, let's.
I'm assuming it's so different from what you experienced.
Yeah.
It's nice this year though to see everybody interested in playing the game, right? That's kind of nice. I love The Leftovers. I'm a big fan of Taylor. I don't understand that. I know we need to talk about Taylor. I was asking him about it the other day. I don't get it. I know that Paloma I feel like she went in there and started the immediate bullying, made other people just kind of say what I'm so glad she left the house. I feel bad for her mental health because everybody will come off that show and you will have some kind of mental health challenge. I tell you that. So her happened early, but I didn't like her anyways. I thought she was mean. I think Nicole is mean and a bully and hate Daniel. Like, what's wrong with that guy?
You would have told him off. If you were in the house of Daniel, you would have told his ass off the first chance he got. These people
I don't get it. He's playing way too hard. So obvious. He'll be kicked out before he knows it.
It's
I want casting to cast more Dianes in a weird way, and it's not gaslighting, but it's like a lot of the women are so afraid to like speak their mind because they don't want to come off like a bitch or whatever. But it's like, who cares? Say what you gotta say.
Alyssa is like the type of girl they cast now.
Yeah, and I hate it because she just like I got no opinion on her, and now she's all into that. Once the showmance, and I was like, bye.
I think that's why they cast her, because they knew she wanted a showmance. Grodner loves her some showmances.
Yeah, she loves the show. Don't push for any of them.
So did the producers kind of like, because we feel like the producers kind of manipulated or like forced Kyle and Alyssa's showmance storyline. Do you think you were forced or fed from like the DR a little bit about Drew?
No. Drew, and that was pretty organic from all sides. But I do feel like at the end of the show, one realized, what kind of outcomes they could get, maybe what best friends. I think that they, might have kind of manipulated us in the diary room. Like, I don't know if Drew would have kicked me out necessarily. I think he might have had a little bit of pressure, possibly. I can't remember. It's been so long ago, but I swear he said something like that once upon a time.
So and he had a nice ass. He did. He was hot. Yeah. And to cuddle with Drew every night, like
I said, it was the only thing that got me through that game. Like, how lucky was I to have somebody?
That's facts.
Through the whole thing, whether
I don't know. I'm weird. I thought Jace was hotter, but that's just me. I like it. I'm a big unhinged.
You like meatheads.
Like him. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That's me. But I also did think Drew was hot, and I also somewhat Scott, but not Cowboy though. No, he was.
No, ew.
No, I don't think anyone thought Cowboy was.
No, I think Drew takes the cake. Like he's one of the most attractive guys to play, in my opinion. And I like melanated men. So Drew's he's a good look. Like I'm not mad at you.
Do you want me to message him and tell him you said hi? We'll see if he responds.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, if he likes that swirly swirl chocolate, I mean, I'm in New York. I'm doing my thing. What's up?
Yes.
Me in Michigan.
I would like to put going on with them, you know. I'll just be like, oh, we were talking about you the other day. What's
up?
Right. Maybe he can come on. You never know.
I know. Come on over.
That would be hilarious.
Spill the tea. We'll ask him right to his face what's going on. Let's go.
Diane, I really do want to know about the diary rooms because, for one, it used to be so much more authentic when you guys would go in there, and it's not like what it is today. But
now it's blondes on butterbeans.
Well, like, I'm so curious what goes on back there because I feel like that's something we rarely ever hear about. Like, are there actual people in there, or like, do you ever like see like an actual human being, or is it just like their voices, or what's going on in there?
You just look at a bot. You look at a speaker in front of you with the camera, and you talk to the speaker. It's the weird. That was one of the weirdest experiences from it because you spend every day talking to specific producers, and so when you get off the show, like, I'll never forget, I was like, I have the biggest crush on whatever his name was, Terry. I can't wait to see what this guy looks like. And then I met him at the rap party, and it was like, oh God, hi, bye.
Wow.
But become best friends with them, and yeah, the whole, like, they want you to say things and they explain the competitions, which is actually really corny. Have to do it, and I don't know if you guys can read the show, but I can read the show by just these stupid diary rooms because sometimes it gives away friends, you know, by the way they're acting.
Yep,
it's so fake.
Yeah.
It's so fake.
Bad. It's so bad.
But I'm happy it got influenced this season though because it was heading for a train wreck. Again, Paloma, I don't know if you know this, Paloma doubled down recently. She's been out of the house for a couple of weeks, but she posted a video basically calling Taylor a bully.
She's so, what's wrong with her?
I've never met someone
so weird.
I do not think this girl should have been cast. I think casting made some mistakes this season, and I think they were lazy with some of the people that they chose. Specifically, Paloma should not have been cast. Jasmine should not have been cast. I don't think Daniel should have been cast. I think all three of them were mistakes.
Half of them, almost half of them.
I think Nicole would have been fine if Daniel wasn't there. I do think so. People are not going to agree with me. I think Daniel is who's making Nicole better, or maybe it's the other way. Maybe
it's one of the.
I liked her from the beginning. Taylor.
I liked her the first episode. She was being nice to Taylor. She was good, and then she just jumped on board with everybody else, and it was just like, these people are awful, and like they're just, why double down when you know you're wrong? And then go ahead.
You just want to hope that Paloma gets off the show, and if anything, she watches herself and, like I said, becomes a better person.
But there's a lot of people that come off the show and they're like, oh, well, you don't see everything that happened on the live feeds. I mean, do you call bullshit on that?
I call bullshit on that. Most of the time, you're getting what you get.
Yeah.
They can't hide that much of you. They'd have to do a lot of editing, you know?
That is so true. Yeah.
And that's a popular topic now, is if they're saying, oh, I blame it on the editing. There's no editing with the live feeds, y'all. This is what's airing 24/7. It's not being edited.
Yeah.
And BB Twitter wasn't around was it around during your seasons?
Hell no.
How do you think you would have reacted? Like, how do you think you would have handled that?
I'd have been burned at the stake, right?
No.
No. You'd be surprised.
I remember the drunk driving mothers of America were so pissed because I said I had drank and drove one night in college on the live feed. So, like, that's how we got it back then.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That might be easier than BB Twitter, though.
So
okay.
BB Twitter will light people up like Christmas trees. I will tell you that.
No, Diane, you would have probably had a bunch of profile pictures, and like you would have had some stands for sure.
I tried to join Twitter once. I quit Twitter for a week because people were so mean to me about Janelle. So mean. And this was years afterward. And they were so mean. I literally closed the account later. I was like, no.
They're like the Beehive with Beyonce. Like, don't say anything bad about Janelle. And it's like, because there's a lot of shit I don't agree with Janelle.
Exactly.
Josh loves Janelle. I love Janelle too, but
yeah, we love Janelle. But so for some weird reason, Janelle's watching. Hey, Janelle, she doesn't hate you. Like, let's send this beef live.
Yep.
Send it.
I love that.
Put this beef to rest.
Maybe we can do Big Brother 50, you know?
Would love it.
You never know. You never
Y'all
know.
can take down Christmas together.
Seriously.
Her leg. Amazing.
So did you watch last season? Did you watch 23?
I watched last season. I loved it. I thought it was great. This was the cookout, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you been continuously watching throughout the years, or did you take a break from watching, or what?
The only time I took a break from watching was right All Star. And then I must have caught up around like 16 or somewhere like that. But I love it. Every year I watch it. I love it. I root for people. Loved last year. Who was my favorite last year? I didn't really have a favorite, but
I love Tiffany. Tiffany and Chada.
Oh yeah, Tiffany.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's somebody that I just see myself working for. Strong woman, give a shit about nothing, so.
She really did. She should have won. We all think it, but she was selfless, and that's why she didn't win. Was she put the cookout before her own game?
Absolutely. That season, I agree.
That's the thing. I mean, it was a great season. I think last season was a necessary season, and I really, even how this season started, I was like, I really missed last year's cast. They had just such a good vibe. This season, the cast I don't see them all being friends after this. You're going to have people hating each other. It's going to be like your cast, I feel like, for the most part, got along after the show from what you're saying. Like, you guys were all fun, but like season 4, like Allison's season, they all hated each other. Hated. But it's like that.
That was the most awkward finale, I think, outside of Celebrity Big Brother, this previous.
It was bad.
That was so awkward.
I watched my first Celebrity Big Brother this last season. That shit so much. And I'm sorry, but the best Big Brother ever moment. I'm sorry, my favorite so far is when the kid won the show and Julie called him out for racism and he walked out the door fucking stunned like an idiot.
Oh my gosh, that was a finale.
Who's that guy?
Jackson Mickey.
Oh my god, cringe so hard. This fucking kid. I was like, good luck, everybody.
Yeah, because he was.
Congratulations, you won the show, but America thinks you're a racist.
Right. I do have a question about that. Okay, there's some shit that people say that I'm like, okay, if I was a contestant and I get off the show, don't speak to me. Is there was some stuff that Scott said to you, Jay said to you, or said behind your back, that it was just kind of like, I wouldn't fuck with you, but how is that grudge after it? Does it go away easily, or how does that work?
So, there was a few that most people seriously, when you as soon as you get kicked out, there's a moment of shock for about an hour or two, and then you legit, if you're a normal person, you take the game in realistic. Even if somebody stabbed you in the back, who cares? They're a better player than you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, more of the personal attacks and stuff like that. Is it easy to let go of those grudges, or?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think just get shoved out into the world so fast, forget about everything that happened to you.
Yeah, I think the fans be more angry, but the players be like, "Oh, we're so over it. We don't care."
Right.
Yeah. I feel like yours wasn't you had Jason but back then I was asking you about this, Diane. This is actually a leeway, but now you're getting so much more microaggressions. You're getting people that are showing racism on the show. The last probably 8 years, you're getting that so much. I don't remember seeing a lot of that in old seasons. Was race brought up on the show back then? Did these things happen in old school seasons? We just didn't get it edited.
I mean, this is why we should bring Marvin on the show, because I told him.
Yeah, I would love to ask him.
Mention nobody even talked about that shit,
Yeah. But it was also you had 1 or 2 tokens.
Yeah, there was one.
But Marvin was the token black guy,
Right.
That's how they used to cast.
That's what he said. So it's just good that they're finally just putting more down, period.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that's why the microaggressions are happening, because it's more you see more culture in it, so you see how they adapt versus 1 token. So it's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's bad.
Sad. It's sad. I hate it.
Diane, I could ask this question. Well, we can ask about. Should we ask about the worst of Big Brother players ever?
Let's do it.
We do it. Diane, what do you remember the name Erin Hughes? Do you remember her from Big Brother 15?
She was really the first one that got called out for racism, right?
She
got
was
booed.
Racist on the show. She was.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. Julie really went into her.
She ripped her a new one.
Ooh, she read back quotes. And
she said something about rice. Was that her too?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she was bad.
Julie was salivating at the mouth for that one.
You guys know who got lucky? Erica got lucky that she handled her season. Well, her season wasn't during BB Twitter and cancel culture.
Oh,
what she said about June's boyfriend.
Canceled.
She said G was like fresh off the boat.
Immigrant to G. Yeah.
And then she goes on to be to All Stars and get voted on by America. Like what? Like
I'm saying, and go on to win second place. You know,
how does that work?
I feel like that was kind of rigged for Erica.
Best floater in America, ladies and gentlemen.
I would have rather had Dana. I would have rather had Michelle from season 4 than Erica. Erica was boring. She brought nothing to the game. Nothing.
We could have took Cowboy, guys.
I would have rather taken Cowboy.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm sure Allison was like, what the hell is going on? Like, why her? Like, why is this girl in here?
Allison, oh man, she would have been so good in All Star. She would have started ripping some ass too.
Because I feel like when she went on All Stars, though, she was like was she with her current husband that she has? Was she already with him? Then?
Nope, I think she was with somebody else at that point.
Okay, but yeah, she wasn't like she went back on All Stars as like not like the Parvati Allison. Like Allison was like the Parvati of Big Brother. Like she kind of was the original Janelle that people forget about. Truthfully,
yeah.
Allison played the hell out of that game.
I know
the hell out of that game.
Legend.
I would never forget her hiding in the pot.
Yeah, I love Allison. In fact, God, I used to be close with her. You know, I had babies, so we all just kind of parted ways, but I could any day if I wanted to too.
You sure she's amazing? But yeah, she's
another real one. She's another real one.
Legend for sure.
They don't cast them like I mean Tiffany, yes,
Tiffany
was great.
Tiffany Vanessa. Those are the two.
Like they don't cast them like y'all anymore. It's so like it's ridiculous.
Well, hopefully they'll keep catching on. We'll get you some more girls on the show, like me. Maybe I can round her up.
There we go.
I got
Gomez.
Absolutely.
I'll send a massive Facebook message and just be like, anybody interested?
I think Gomez and Allison. Is it like a menu? I would be like Allison, Gomez.
It'll be Scott, Marv. It'll be so many people.
Reunion. Let's do it.
Screenshot. I'll send you a screenshot. I mean, is there any way we can get like 20 boxes?
We could do.
We will find that out.
We're gonna make it happen.
We will do a Zoom call. We will make it professional. I will wear a suit. Okay.
I bet we could get something good. I could. You just got to give me some time. You know, like I said, I'm so exhausted that I will work on
BB5 reunion. Like that would be fun.
I'm with it.
We'll start
find Jace in the middle of the woods.
Right.
Could we find Holly? We'll find her with her wrestling. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Twins. I could find one on Facebook, and that was recently, and I added her, but I don't think she gets on Facebook. The other one, don't know where they are. I don't even know what state those girls are in. Oh, but here's a good story. Karen, speaking of Karen.
We didn't even mention Karen.
Karen! Arts and crafts!
Karen is Gansey. So she lives, our grandparents have a house in Florida, you know, and she lives in the town next to it. It's like 50 miles down the road. And I was able to find an address for her in this town. And so I was thinking next time we go down, which might be recently, like how crazy would it be if I just showed up at her front door, and I swear to God, I'll record it.
Just show up.
Love it.
Because speaking of her, she was the only one that held the grudge. You know, some people do hold the grudges after the show and
Thank you for
right. So she's one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
somebody mentioned call Holly. What's up with Holly?
So let's talk about the Holly of it all, because we really haven't gone into it. Like, let's say we haven't talked about Holly, and we talked about Janelle, but we got it. I think Holly's the big one here. But like, what's the first impression? What went on behind the scenes? Like, we want to know the whole story. The Couch Potato Queen exclusive.
Like, there was not a moment in that house that I remember thinking I am ever going to be friends with this girl. And like I said, I'm young and dumb in my early 20s, but like, I wouldn't be friends with somebody like her normal. She was just batshit crazy. Like,
and annoying as hell.
No getting around it. That's how she was constantly. Like, disgusting. Her and Chase were disgusting. Oh, so don't talk to her either.
You think she was putting on like an act for like TV, or is that her?
That was her.
Oh, okay.
She was acting back then, so I think she kind of just got thrown on the show. She might have been somebody that didn't try out for the show either and got tossed on.
No, there's clips of her in Hollywood on shows and stuff back then.
Is?
Those were to be actors back then. So I kind of feel like it was just a role that she was playing.
Yep. I've heard that before. I've heard rumors that sometimes they'll hire people or they'll cast people that are kind of in the acting thing, but I never believed any of that. But that would be a prime example.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's a TV show. Like, why not,
And this is my mannequin, and she's my best friend, and I love her. Her name's Madam, and she's great. And like, oh my God, Jace, you're so cute. And I love pink. And oh my God, it's just like bubonic supersonics.
Or when she thought she was like doing something when she came to the backyard. This girl's been lying to me. And it's like, your whole alliance is like, we know.
This girl's like, I don't even understand, Diane. Like, I really thought we could be like best girlfriends, but like,
that's so spot on right at the end of it too. Guys, why doesn't Diane like me?
And you were just like, girl, I just don't see us being friends.
No,
it'd be like that.
I couldn't have said it any better. You really did feel like you were losing brain cells having conversations with her.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And was Cowboy annoying too? Like, he was kind of annoying to me.
Yeah.
Like,
he drove me insane. In fact, I think I probably said a lot of nasty stuff about him towards the end of my season, but like, what an awkward situation to be in. 3 of us stuck in that house. He followed Drew and I around and was like, are you gonna, like, he never would let us be alone. And so he was just the top of the most annoying thing. But no, he's a sweetheart.
Did you see that Cowboy was on a recent episode of Catfish?
I tried to find it.
Are you serious?
Yes, he was on a recent episode of Catfish, and he was like looking for the catfish, and I was like, Michael?
Yeah, and he loved that. He was like telling everybody about it and sending like Facebook messages, and I was like, no.
Did you guys have like a group at one point in time, like a Facebook or like a chat together, or was this that too early for that time?
I don't know, might have been early.
Yeah, because it was like 16 years ago. Holy shit, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know, crazy. I can't believe it's still on.
It is, but it's a different show now than it was before.
Yeah.
So different.
It had a different intro. It had a different house. They changed the house. Now, which house do you like better, the first house or the second house?
Definitely the second house. That first house, we were the last ones in that hellhole. And it was probably not in the greatest condition. And I also heard production say that after Big Brother 5, they bulldozed the original house, that it was so nasty. It was so nasty. But anyway, so the other one was inside the studio, and it was awesome. It's so awesome.
Well, that was second year they had that one. Now that same house has been used since Big Brother 6, and there are cockroaches and stinks and
ants. It's just ants every year.
We had ants every year. We had the ants. Had it all. It's so nasty, but people don't want to clean. It took a lot to get everybody to clean in there.
Wow.
Okay. You know who we haven't talked about is the Jesus twins. let's go there. Let's go to the Jesus Twins. What have they been up to? What did you think of them?
I did. There was a moment where like I really liked them. I loved the spirit, the all girls, or just wanting to do the right thing. And once the Jesus stuff came into play, like that was it for me. I was done.
Yeah. Were they like shoving it like down your throat? Yeah, yep. That's so annoying.
A lot of churches do that, unfortunately, and it turns people off. And so that's how that was, like I don't need you to come read me the Bible at the end of the night, So that was stuff. But
which one did you like more, Adria or Natalie?
I always thought that Natalie was sweeter.
Did you ever know that they were doing what they were doing and just not say anything?
Believe that? Can you believe being kind of casted? We kind of ran through that process with my twin sister, but I realized what they were doing. That's how good they fit. So the fact that I should have thought that there could potentially be twins in there, because why are they trying to cast me with my twin? And totally shocked. Like I'm so good with like that kind of stuff, but she wore her hair down.
The hat.
And so if she had pulled that back, somebody might have caught on. But that was the most amazing, like, shell-shocking moment of my life.
Well, they tried to do it again in Big Brother 17, and that was just a mess. They all knew within a week.
They all figured it out.
They all knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I didn't think they'd put it on because, like, Lindsay and I know Drew said that him and his brother they brought Ben in to try to get them cast to maybe do the same thing, but none of us looked enough alike. So
that's why they did it. So that makes sense, though. That's a cool twist. Okay, Steven, were you the one that had the Nokomis question? Nokomis and Michael, or was that Frank? One of you guys had that?
I think we asked it.
Did we ask about like how like the brother and sister? I don't think we did. Like where, the big twist of the season was Michael and Nokomis, Cowboy and Nokomis, finding out that they were brother and sister. What was that like, that atmosphere in the house after finding that out? Like, how was that, like, awkward?
You're going to love this story because Evil Dick and I talked about this on his show, but I don't know if you noticed, even if you watch the episode, when that comes out and everybody's sitting around the couches, I'm nowhere to be found. and I remember just thinking, this is so strange, but not caring. But everybody else was just so shocked. Like, they just couldn't believe it. But I was like, cool. So,
like, that's what's up.
Like, all right, cool. But in my mind, I thought it doesn't matter. Nokomis and Mike are never going to actually work together,
Yeah, and I'm sure they probably don't have ever talk anyway. Like, they have nothing in common.
Yeah, do you know what their relationship is like right now?
They're cordial. Like, probably get together if they were in each other's town, something like that. But, like with everybody else, we all drift off and say happy birthday every year. That's about it.
No, something we talked about a lot is like the Don. Like early into the game, you were really close with Mike. I remember you were almost a target the first week because
of that,
right?
It's not silly. In the first week, you got to grab anything you can to have an excuse to put somebody up.
Yeah.
So Mike being the easy target because he's the old guy in the house, and then you put up next to him. Oh, the only person talking to him, me, because I'm fine.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Let's put up Diane or something. Who was the first situation? Was it Jace the first week or Scott?
Jace.
It was Jace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because you guys. Oh, there's another thing in BB5 when you guys did the food comp, and then the first week, and you guys go all out on this food comp, and you guys are getting like all this good food. Like it was a fun one, and you had to do the DNA twisty thing, and y'all got all this, picked up everything, and then Lori goes and gets $10,000, and you lose everything in PB&J for the first week. What was your thought on that one?
Oh my God, Lori! I remember thinking, I hope she's so pretty that people will forget about it, but they didn't. So she was an easy target too, but Lori's always been about money. She's like that now. Her life runs like that's all she gives a shit about, making money.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
Was Lori like a Real Housewife kind of too? Like, is she like someone that should be on Real Housewives?
Yeah, she kind of got, I think, pushed on the show through her agent. So she kind of just brought on like I was.
That's iconic. I'm trying to get through like BB5 people. Like, okay, Will, do you wish that you were closer with Will on the show? Like, because I know you guys were close, but you guys weren't like, you were closer with like Nokomis, and Will was like close to other people, I feel like.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't really understand why we weren't closer. I felt like we were close on like an emotional, mental level, but when it came to gameplay, like we talked and stuff, but I always felt like he was closer to Nokomis and stuff. But I wish him and I would have, got together better too. When he left, that was just devastating. I hated that.
Did you weren't you kind of in on it though, but decided to vote to keep him? Like, you knew what was happening with that vote, right?
Yeah, it was one of those things where you don't sway with the rest of the house. It gives you get to be the next person up on the block. When everybody votes and nobody will vote for them, they actually want to stay. One of those kind of situations.
Vote with the house.
Yeah, even when you got to do things to hurt your own friends, I hated it.
I'm like, and this is no shade or anything. This is a compliment. Like, I'm surprised you made it to top 3 because you had a hold on that damn house. Like, even like the Jason you argument when he like you said sides or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, she's gone after like next week. But you held on to that and you had control. Like, that's so impressive.
Hal's a big mouth. I know. I'm not really sure what that means. Am I a good manipulator? That can't be a good thing.
No, you just played the hell out of the game. That's all that is.
I want to know why people related to you. I feel like people thought you were.
Yeah, I really enjoyed people. I can tell you one thing. If you ever want to go on Big Brother and you want to be successful on this show, actually give a shit about the people you're talking to. And if the person feels that, I mean, that's it. I actually did give a shit about everybody on our show. I think production even didn't like us for a long time because we all did get along so well. But that's a way to make it to the end. Really give a shit about what people are saying. Best friends with everybody if you can.
Yeah,
I'll take a
minute. Yeah, you held it down on that side of the house. Like, you was in control. Like, you was like, it was like Jace was the king of his side. You was like the queen of your side. So I was like, there's no way they're gonna keep you in this house. Like, but you made it to top 3, so you did it.
Like sometimes I don't even think I remember like what I was even doing. I told you I never watched the show. I kind of just went in there and just. I don't even know if I was playing half the time. I think I was getting lucky.
No, you had a good sense of the house, I think.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. And that's why you're a legend. That's why you're queen. You are.
Thanks.
You share with those original girls. Like, it's like it is really the girls that put it to what it is. And there are fans. You have a lot of fans. A lot of them still.
A lot.
I love it. I wish some way I could come back to the show just to say hi, but God, I don't think I could ever do it. Not so much. I think my biggest downfall on Big Brother is because I don't feel like I'm the intellectual. I don't know if I'm so book smart as I am street smart. You know what I mean?
You don't need the book smart. So, but here's the thing, Diane. Like, here's my question. Okay, because they were thinking of doing like an all winners one that came out recently. They were talking about it, but like, I could see like a legend season. I could see you getting asked. Like, people love you out there, but like, would you do it for like a 30-day game? Like how the length of like Celebrity Big Brother? Like, is that?
Yep, absolutely. If it was a shorter version, and if they would at least, I guess they wouldn't be able to tell us in the house, but I'm sure they'll talk anyway because they do. You talk to each other. I would do it if Danielle would come back and Allison and say Will, but I mean, he run his course. There's a lot of people run their course. Dan, I play the game with Dan. My favorites. Marvin. I always thought Marvin should have been on All Stars. He wasn't.
I agree.
Yeah. Are there people that were like in the All Stars in talks of being in that All Star group of 20 that were like asked or said no, or that were like in talks to be or replaced with someone else? Was there anyone like of even other reasons that was there?
Nope. I know people ask about Drew. Rumor had it that he was going to be on All Stars, and did they approach him? But he's told me personally they never asked him to be on All Stars. But I know that Robin wined and dined a few of us to get the feel out to see if anybody would actually do a show. I think they thought the show was getting canceled after 7. I think they really thought Yes was canceling Big Brother. That's the only reason it came early. Because
it did come early.
All Stars after 7 seasons. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard. Okay, so we have a few from viewers. So Caitlin said Amy was in talks. Amy Cruz from season 3. You guys would have gotten along well.
Yeah, I liked her. It's awesome.
You did? Really? Because I thought you and her wouldn't. I feel like you and her wouldn't get along.
I think there was a moment in time where maybe we didn't get along, and I couldn't even tell you what it was about. But then we rehashed it, and she was really sweet. But yeah, I don't know if we'd be friends in real life.
She's kind of like I'd say she's like a tolerable version of like Holly.
Exactly.
But like I love her. Amy's one of my favorites of all time too. I love Amy Cruz, but I'm like, I don't know. And then also Nicole said no. So season 2, Nicole was asked. So.
Season 2, Nicole.
The one who smoked a lot of cigs and she cooked for the house. And
she got second place, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she got second place.
She had that thing with Hardy. It was her and Hardy. Talk about a hot man who was on Big Brother.
I know.
Hardy is like top 5 hottest guys ever on the show.
Yeah, I wonder what he's doing these days. See, there are some people that have actually disappeared off the planet. That guy being one of them. Where's he at?
He was on a couple reality shows, I feel like.
Oh, was he? God.
But
well,
yeah, I think he was on a real estate reality show, like years ago or something. I could be wrong. Don't quote me, but
yeah, there you go. Okay, so I think we're kind of wrapping up here. Diane, tell me like a couple more things. Are there any like mini reunions that you've had over the years with your cast? Like when was the last time the most of season 5 or season 7 were together since you're airing? And like when was it?
I mean, no, but that probably would have been the All-Star. What do you call it? The rap party. Because I invited Drew to come out to the rap party. I thought he'd have fun if he came to the All-Star. So I know he ended up coming, and so Jason, that would have been the last time. And just individual visits. Like if I go to states, I'll go see Will in New York or Marvin in North Carolina.
That's awesome.
No big groups though. I mean, there was a lot of gatherings. I never went to any of them.
Hey, you know what?
Cowboy goes to all of them.
Let's get this BB5 reunion together. Let's do it. I want to get all 14 of you. I think we're gonna do it.
And I've got, I know. So let me work on that. If anybody's interested, I guarantee so they would do it. It'd be so fun.
It would be
yes.
Yeah, we're down. We're definitely down.
Or All Stars. I mean, All Stars would be fun too. That. But yeah, like with that, I think. Is there any other questions that we have, boys, for the Queen? Is there anything else you want to ask Diane that you can think of?
I'm just happy to just be speaking to you. Like I said, like we love you. Like no shade to like any other players from your season, but like. You are the season 5.
You're season 5. You ran that.
Yes, the vibe.
Thank you. There's a lot of season 5 I can't watch. I embarrass myself. It's cringy, but there are some of it where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so funny. So thank you. But it is pretty cringy for me. But so that means a lot to you.
And I am getting a couple questions from this guy James here asking about Tony Ferrari. Was there like beef with you and is Tony Ferrari the girl from Paradise Hotel? Is that who that is?
The crate with the eyes.
Yeah, with the eyes. What is the story with that? Because I'm getting a few. I'm like, when was the last time you heard from Tony Ferrari? I'm like, because I know what's the tea on that? Because I don't know it.
So when I first moved to California, Scott and I decided to get an apartment and share it. I know. Is that new news? But anyway, so we did for it lasted like a month. And then Tony met me at a bar somewhere. She found out I was living with Scott in East Hollywood, and she's like, "You gotta get the F out of there." She moved me in with her. I didn't know her. I didn't know anything about her, and she's like, that girl was psycho. She was a lot. And Big Brother All Stars didn't work out for me as well. Like everything you've read and heard is all true. She asked me to help her move out of our apartment, and I had already just moved my stuff out and I was gone. And then she asked me to ask my friends to help her move out of the apartment. And that was what had caused the rift for her to call production and just fucking tell him anything she could. I think she made up a bunch of shit too. I'll never forget the time Allison called me and ripped my ass so hard. Actually, I'm sorry, I just remembered that. So yeah, Allison is kind of bitchy.
Brodner called you what?
Oh wow.
She called some of the All-Star cast, and she ripped our asses because she heard we were talking to each other before the show started. We were like, "The fuck do you think we're doing?"
Right. Like, come on, let's get real.
Diane,
and then you put all of season 6 in All-Star. You're yelling at me, like,
wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all knew Tony, whatever her last name. I think we all knew she was kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I mean, just watching her.
I've seen her. We went to a bar one night, and I watched her body slam Johnny Fairplay onto his truck.
Diane, I have another question for you, because like New School Big Brother,
so crazy.
New School Big Brother and Survivor players now do the challenge. Would have you done the challenge years ago if they were doing Big Brother and Survivor people?
Hell yes. We had hung out with so many different Survivor people through the years, like so fun. I tried to watch that the other night, but I don't get a lot of time. But is that good?
It's good. It's good.
It's great.
It's
Survivor's had another renaissance. It's doing good. Like,
it did.
Yeah, it's doing really good. And so what? Okay, I'm sorry, I had more questions. What survivors were you close with? What people from that show?
I wouldn't be able to tell you any of their names. It's been 15 years ago. All through Tony Ferrari knew every single survivor. John Fairplay being one of our closest, and nope, I can't give you names. I'm so sorry, I'm bad with names, but
It is what it is.
Yeah, so many people. And we all ran around together. Like all the reality shows that were happening at that moment, we were all running together.
Could y'all imagine if all these people from old school were on the challenge, like Diane and Janelle were on the challenge together? Could you imagine what would have happened? Like, that would have been fantastic.
Watched her and Brittany on whatever. Did they do good?
Amazing Race.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I think out of the Big Brother people, they were out before the others were.
They were like 8th place, 8th or 7th.
She was one of my favorite players. Brittany, her diary rooms were fucking hilarious.
Phenomenal.
Brittany was a you. Like Brittany is one of your proteges. Is
hands
a
down.
Character.
Hands down. She was one of her biggest fans. I could not wait to watch her.
Oh, she was epic. But yeah. Right. Okay, so we talked about the Tony Ferrari, we talked about Janelle, we talked about Holly. Were there any other beefs we didn't know about, like anyone else behind the scenes?
No, I'm trying to think of any good stories I can even leave you with, but
is there any tea behind the scenes tea at all, Big Brother wise, that will shock us? Let's go out on. Is there anything? Any type of like people that were fighting, people that were hooking up that we didn't know about after the show? Like, that's the tea that up.
I can give you that tea as soon as we hang.
Okay.
All right, well, it's real tea, so I'm here for it. But
because I might be involved in it, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, we're gonna hear all the tea. All right, with that.
I wish we could talk about it because it would be hilarious, and we would, but we can't because we're married.
Y'all married now.
Yeah, y'all married now. But yeah, with that said, Steven, Frank, do you have any other questions for Diane today?
We just love you.
We love you.
I'm
honored to be doing this with you. This is the best.
Diane, we want to have you back.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, eviction nights. Like, if you ever want to do like an eviction night with us, let us know.
Listen, I will. I know you can't hear it, but I can hear my kids crying downstairs right now. When I'm done with you, I got to go do more work for the next several.
Mommy duty.
So lucky.
All right, Dan. So let's send it out. Where can our audience find you on social media if you want them to find you?
Instagram, that would be it. I'm technology challenged, but I am on Instagram. Facebook, I just keep for friends. So sorry. I know some people still add me on Facebook, and if you're watching, I'm sorry. It's just a friend. People I actually know on Facebook, but Instagram.
Yeah, it's like family and friends now. It's like
I'm considered a friend now, so like I'm the lucky one. So
I know. Found you two on Instagram, so be friends. I'll add you on Facebook, but Instagram, and nobody cares because I'm so boring. But thanks.
All
if you
right.
want pictures of my kids, come to my Instagram.
We love it. What is your Instagram?
I have no idea.
It's Diane_twin1.
Oh yeah, that sounds like my email address. That'd be right.
That's it, Diane_twin1, y'all. If you want to find her on Instagram, follow her on Instagram. But Diane, is there anything you want to say to your fans before we sign out?
I have always had best fans. I mean, I see all their messages on Instagram. I don't know why they like me, but I like you too. Thanks so much.
All right, everyone. So with that said, that comes to an end of our broadcast tonight. If you aren't already subscribing to our channel, go ahead and subscribe to us at the Couch Potato Queens. Just click that subscribe button. And if you want notifications for our lives, we go live every eviction night right after the episode. And we're doing live feeds every night. We do The Bachelor, Bachelorette on Mondays with Alex and Ken. So we're on all the time. So make sure to subscribe. Follow us on our Twitter at Couch Potato Queens. It's Couch Potato QWNZ. I am tweeting up a storm about Big Brother, y'all, like all day long, and that's what we're doing. We also have an Instagram account, Couch Potato Queens, spelled as is. But with that said, for tonight, we love you. You can also follow Frank on Instagram at I'm Frank Williams and Twitter at I'm Frank W. You can also follow Steven on Instagram at Reginald_George. We're on Twitter at WUZRLYGG1. That's right. Okay.
That's really good.
Was really good.
All right. Hey. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mendels8. But with that said, we love you. We will see you tomorrow night live after the eviction show at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Diane, it was a pleasure. We love you. We can't wait.
Thank you.
All right. Hope everyone takes care. We'll see you guys next time. Good night.
Bye.